My wife had finished feeding our baby this morning when she asked me to change her. So I swapped her for next door's 12-year-old. It's the Comedy Cabin. Welcome back. Let's do this. Next episode. Go. And we are live. We're good to go. Hope you're doing well. How's the form? Hope you're keeping rightly. You're looking well. You're definitely looking well. Is that a new blouse? Fella's sitting there going, "What the fuck am I wearing a blouse for?" Hope you're good. Look what I'm wearing. Score a few goals, sniff a few holes. That's my new mug, courtesy of NI Mug Co., which you can get right now, and you can help support my Facebook channel, my YouTube channel, all my things. You can get these fantastic coasters that say Funny Bingo and other things like that as well, courtesy of Daggy the Gaffer. Hey, fuck! It is what it is, Jerry! Take her handy mupper up. Take her handy mupper. Take her handy mucker up. Ah, fuck it. I can't. Do you know what? I'm beyond shattered. Absolutely beyond shattered. I have never been as tired in all my life. I said, yeah, I've never been as tired in all my life, but close second is last week when I recorded last week's episode, because I said when Alisson scored for Liverpool, he came up for a penalty. He didn't come up for a penalty, he came up for a corner. That's how bollocksed I have been. That's how bollocksed I still am. I was running on empty 6 weeks ago. I am now running on, I don't know, bacon sodas. That's pretty much what I'm running on at the minute. Absolutely shattered. Haven't exercised in about 2 or 3 weeks. Feel even more tired because of it. But it is what it is. You're very welcome. It's the Comedy Cabin. It's the next episode. I hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey. Get 5 hours sleep a day. Nate Dog, R.I.P. homie. That's for him. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for checking this out. Maybe you're a subscriber, which you're here every week. Maybe this is the first time sort of stumbling upon it. And if so, I'm not going to ask you to smash that subscribe button because I'm not a paedophile. But if you're into what I do, hit follow and we'll see what happens. And anybody who does follow me, obviously your phone number goes straight into a lucky dip, and one person gets picked every single month to win a brand new BMW. So just saying, if you're not in it, you can't win it, and let's just leave it there. I've started doing these episodes now because I started my sort of, well, we call this like a new series. Since I started doing the new series of these last week, I've started opening with like a joke, and I like sort of going in cold just with a one-liner. And a lot of people are going to be like, why are you telling a joke? There's literally just you in the room. But I honestly have like 15 people here who will not laugh at a single thing I say because they're all haters who I've found online, and I've invited them all here to watch this live episode tonight to prove to them that I'm funny. And they're all sitting there, and not one of them have laughed so far because they're obviously not fans of mine, and I'm trying to convince them that I'm funny. And I'm talking shite. I'm talking complete shite. But the reason why I wanted to start with a joke is because of the pandemic. See if you can hear like a creak every 5 or 10 seconds, whether you're listening to this, whether you're watching this or whatever. I have like a rickety table, like a rickety glass table from the 70s that they gave me when I moved into this office. And just in case you're listening to this thinking his grandparents are making love next door, they're definitely not. It's not an old spring bed. This is just how I roll now. This is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. When I recorded last week's podcast as well, when I listened back to a bit of it after, I realised that the sound was quite shitty. So I've got sort of a different setup for this week's episode, and I'm sure it's going to be crystal clear. Like, you will hear every single burp I do. You'll hear every swallow of a coffee. You'll hear just everything that I do because it's a brilliant mic. I've used it loads of times before for different recordings. I actually use it for the Jerry bits of the Daggy the Gaffer videos as well, little unknown fact. Or maybe I told that fact last week because I am so fucking tired. I don't even know what is going on anymore. And what I was saying was about my jokes and stuff. The reason why I wanted to start each episode with a joke was because I wanted to catch people off the bat. I wanted to get people just straight. They've just clicked on this online. They've stumbled upon it. They have no idea who I am. This is kind of like if I like that joke, I'll maybe watch another 5 minutes of it. And then they watch 5 minutes and they realise this guy's fucking talking to himself in a cupboard, in a really small cupboard, in the middle of his hometown, and what is going on. But some people might enjoy that. Some people might enjoy what I'm doing. Because I do one-liners too, there's no point in me giving you episode after episode after episode of just me telling jokes, especially to no one. I think if this ever takes off or if it starts doing well, we build up a bit of a Patreon following. We'll do some live shows. We'll do some free gigs. We'll invite maybe 5 or 10 people to come live to watch every episode in this room. That would be class. I would fucking love that. And we can just, we'll say bring your own booze. We'll say bring soft drinks only. But I will not be sniffing everybody's bottle, which is not a euphemism for me sniffing your wiener. I mean, what you put in that bottle is of no concern of mine. But as far as I know, no one has smuggled in alcohol. We're all just drinking coloured water. But the point I was trying to make, which I think I still remember, is I wanted to tell a joke at the start of the episode because I wanted to kind of hit the ground running and give people an idea of what I do. And what I would normally do in terms of when I write jokes and stuff, I almost write a joke and then I'm just like, that's my joke. No one's ever going to hear this because it's mine. It's brand new material. But why am I creating these jokes if no one's ever going to hear them? And I used to be so precious with my material. I really did. All the time, I was just, oh, don't tell that joke. That's brand new. You can tell that joke down the line. And once people hear it, that's it. It's got no shelf life. People will never want to hear it ever again. It'll be, right, we've heard that joke. It's funny. But what else have you got? And I guess this is just mind games that I play with myself. Someone please don't cut a bit where I say about that I play with myself. That's not what I meant. And that's completely out of context and I will bring you to court. Small claims court, so it's not, don't panic. I'm sure you can afford it. But I thought since the pandemic, now is the time to start sharing my jokes and start just getting my material out there. Because I write, what would I write? I would say I write between 10 to 30 jokes a week, depending on what I've got coming up, what I've got going on, whether I write some topical jokes, whether I just write some silly jokes. I kind of feel like as well, even though I'm a one-liner comedian, I feel like I do quite a bit of, what's the word? My brain is fucking cabbage. I do, what do you call it? When you notice things around the room, all I can think of now is the word improv or improvisation, but that's not what it is. It's when I notice things and people are watching this going, are you a dickhead? The word is this. But the more I try and think of that word, the more my brain just goes, we're going to open a filing cabinet here in this wee cubby hole and we're going to fuck that word in the cubby hole and we're going to turn the light off and close the door like it's a TikTok video and we're going to set a fucking explosion thing to go off and then we're going to open the drawer or the door and it's just going to fucking, everything's going to be everywhere and there's going to be words everywhere. It's a full dictionary full of words and you're just going to be like, you're never going to find that word you're looking for. But I'm determined to find that word. And we are not leaving here until I can think of that word. And it's not improvisation, which is the only fucking word I can think of. What is it? What is it? I'm going to take a sip of coffee and it's going to tell me what it is. The word I'm looking for is going to be in this coffee and it's going to tell me, just wait. It's not in there. I put too much pressure on myself. That's what I've done. I put far too much pressure on myself. And do you know what I did, which I do on a regular occasion too? I said, say if I like stumble or if I forget what I'm saying in a conversation, which can happen every now and again, I say, oh, I was going to say this, and then the more there's silence or the more everyone is waiting for me to hear what I have to say, the more my brain just goes, lads, everyone, just leave, just shh. Let's pretend we're not in. See how he can fuck with himself here. That's gonna drive me mad. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna Google it. Charlene, I mean, his joke was funny at the start, but he literally just spent 45 minutes fucking trying to think of a word that he couldn't remember the name of. Ooh, what styles of comedy? Had caps lock on, didn't it? So I'm fucking screaming at Google here. Styles of comedy. Styles of comedy. Comedy genres, right? Oh fuck, he's loaded up. Alternative comedy, anti-humor, black comedy, blue comedy, burlesque. It's not burlesque. Cringe comedy. You could call it fucking cringe comedy. Insult mockumentary. Observational comedy. Pokes fun at everyday life, often by inflating the importance of trivial things or by observing the silliness of something that society accepts as normal. I.e. George Carlin, Cheech and Chong, Jerry Seinfeld, Louis C.K., Craig Ferguson, Larry David, Mitch Hedberg, Billy Connolly, Michael McIntyre, Russell Howard, Cedric Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Grable Gratis, Ray Romano, Chris Rush, Dane Cook, Ricky Gervais, Chris Rock, Jim Gaffigan, Kathy Greenwood, Alan DeGeneres, Russell Peters, John Mulaney, Peter Kay, Victoria Wood, Sepan Verma, Keenan Gill. So there we go. And right underneath it is one-liner comedy, and it's given a whole list of one-liner comedians, and I'm not in that list. That's what I should make that my mission, shouldn't I? I should make that my mission. I'm like, one day, someone, or do you know what? Fuck it. Why achieve anything? Someone watching this, please go on to Wikipedia, right? Go to comedic genres. Go down to one-line joke, and when it gives examples of one-liner comedians, someone throw my name in. Throw it in between Milton Jones and Tim Vine. I'm going to check this in 3 days and I'm going to be like, here we go. No one's done it. Guarantee that happens. Yeah, if you can edit Wikipedia, someone go on and do that for me. Make me a Wikipedia page too. Put in whatever you want. Put in, to a certain extent, the last time that happened, this haunts me. I need to tell you this, right? But yeah, I feel like, with getting back on my point that I said before, I observational comedy, I feel like I do a lot of that as well. So that could be something that I could dabble with when I finally return to the stage, which could be never, which could be, I don't know, I could end up in a fucking psychiatric ward. I can end up just being pronounced brain dead in the next 6 months if I continue to get no sleep. Charlene, he keeps forgetting what he's saying too. He forgets where he is. Let's fucking turn this off. Put what do you call him on? Who else has a podcast? Put James Acaster's podcast on. I'll tell you, Michael. I'll tell you what I was talking about. Isn't that how he sounds? Something like that. However, I feel like I've got the eyes right, but I probably don't have the accent right at all. And then, what do you call the other one? Josh Widdicombe. Isn't that how Josh Widdicombe sounds? Probably not one bit, but that's probably that's how he sounds in my head. That's probably not even how he fucking sounds. Where was I? What was I talking about? It is what it is, isn't it? What a good run. What do we have? 1.5 episodes? That'll do. I have no idea. Someone's, oh yes, I do. I remember. When I put my life in the public's hands previously, my one other dabbling with this is this was about 5 years ago, I'm going to say, maybe even 6, right? I put a post up one day on Facebook and I says the comment with the most likes gets to name my next solo show. I'm going to be doing a solo show in the Black Box whenever it was, March, April, whatever it was. Whatever comment gets the most likes, that's what I will call my show. And I was like, right, people are going to get their thinking caps on here. This could be a good kind of viral kind of thing if it goes wrong, which it did do. But maybe someone is going to come up with a funny pun or something, a haiku or something that rhymes with Sean Hegarty or anything, and it's going to be great. This is what I'm going to call my show. It's going to be a laugh, and it gives me something to talk about, and that's how I can even open the show when I go to perform it, right? What was the top comment? What was the top comment? Sean Hegarty presents ISIS fundraiser. That's what I had to call my show. I put posters up around the Black Box. Went for a sandwich, came back. Somebody had taken all the posters down. Posted it online, got banned from Facebook. But you know what? Good times. Good times. But yeah, if the pandemic's taught me one thing, it's just to get more of my material out there. But what I touched on last week was when I was younger and stuff, I almost felt like I was so painfully shy that I almost like retracted within myself, and I was like, don't tell anyone who you are, don't say a word, just fucking hide in the crowd and nobody will see you. And then I just got to the point where it was like, fuck this. FUCKTHIS. I spell things out when I'm serious. I'm going to start telling people who I am. And it was like the car that I bought a few years ago with automatic reverse. I haven't looked back since. Joke of the day. In between two grandparents making sweet, sweet love. I don't know if you can hear that. Just constant ricketiness. But yeah, the reason I'm absolutely bollocksed, if you haven't followed my career, haven't followed posts or anything that's been going on in the past 2 or 3 months or whatever, my wife gave birth to a beautiful baby girl called Winter 7 weeks ago yesterday, and we were having a bit of a hard time at the start. We're still having a hard time. We're wrecked every single day. We're so tired. She cries quite a lot. She is absolutely heaven on earth. She is 1 in a million. She's amazing. We could literally have a shit day, right? Like, she will cry. She'll hardly sleep. She'll sleep maybe an hour a day sometimes, and we will just be beside ourselves. We will be stressed. We will be super, super tired. We'll be exhausted. We will be drained. And you would change your nappy just before bedtime, and she would just give you the brightest smile, and your heart would just fucking melt. And you're just like, I don't care what you've done today. I don't care. This is just the best smile I've ever seen in my life, and it's unbelievable. But there was always something bothering her. Something had been bothering her for a long, long time, and we just couldn't put our finger on it. We tried everything. We tried all things for colic, silent reflux. If maybe she was getting just excess wind from being breastfed, maybe in a wrong way, and we were reading books and reading articles online and checking into just everything to try and figure out what was going on. And recently a friend of Diona's suggested that we go to an osteopath just for a nice walk. Joking. An osteopath is someone who deals, I think, with, do you know what, I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying who it is. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. An osteopath is a licensed physician who practices medicine using both conventional treatments and osteopathic manipulative medicine, which focuses on relieving pain and tension in the musculoskeletal musculoskeletal system, which is your bones and everything. So basically, what we did was we booked to see an osteopath, and we took our daughter down last week, and we're now 2 sessions deep, and it is one of the best things we've ever spent our money on. And the thing is, as well, not a lot of people know about these, and if you take anything from this podcast today, take one of my mugs. They're going live now at nimugco.co.uk. Go and pick up a mug. It's only £8 or something, and I get a couple of quid out of it. If you take one thing from this podcast, if you know someone with a newborn child, with a child who's a couple of months old, who's maybe struggling to sleep or is having a few issues, take them to go and see an osteopath, right? We paid 50 quid, I think, per session, and we're going to have 3 sessions, and the first one is like a consultation and the start of like the therapy or whatever the child needs. But mind blown is an understatement. See the things that we have learned since we have went to this lady that we went to last week, who is phenomenal, right? We literally found out that our daughter has had a creak in her neck from birth, and we did not notice this. This blew our minds. We couldn't believe it when the first week when we went in, and within 30 seconds, this amazing lady told us this, right? And basically what had happened was whatever happened through birth, and birth can be quite traumatic for a lot of babies, but with our daughter, like, she could turn her head to her right hand side with ease, not a problem. But to the left, she could only turn her head maybe a third of the way. And we just did not see this at all. And when it was pointed out to us, we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. So she'll be working on that from last Monday's session and today's session, and we have another session next week, and hopefully that'll be the problem fixed. She also had a problem with her, like, around her rib cage and her esophagus and sphincter and things like that, where things were maybe a little kind of tight or seized up or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. So that is being ironed out as well, and we feel like we just have a different child. Still cries quite a bit, still, is very, very difficult a lot of the time, but we feel like what we're doing is because I haven't had a child in 12 years. I have 3 boys and now a little girl, and my youngest boy was 12 or is 12, and it's been so long. It's been fucking almost a generation since I've did all this and been a parent to a newborn. So it's kind of feel like we're just doing all this again. So it was such an eye opener, and it's been such an experience so far, but we feel like we're learning every day. We're trying to read everything we can. We're trying to just learn. And if I can recommend one thing, if your child, or if anybody's, even a young child, even 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, if you feel like there's just something not right, go to an osteopath. They could have something built up. One thing she said this as well, which is mind blowing, which she said could lead to ADHD, is if a child doesn't get much time on their tummy when they're born, like a newborn or an infant. If they don't get much tummy time, that can lead to a build-up of, I don't know if it's like stress or something like that, but it builds up to something, and if that isn't relieved, then when they're in school and stuff in the early years, a lot of their attention, a lot of their brain's focus is on this stress or this built-up kind of whatever it is on their system, and that can lead to ADHD further in life. So mind blown. But I almost feel like I'm obviously not a baby expert. If I was, my daughter would be 100% healthy and perfect, and we would sleep 12 hours a night and everything would be brilliant. But I feel like we're learning constantly all the time, and I feel like I almost said to Diona that she needs to start an Instagram page or start something, Joe, like the Mrs. Hinch of cleaning. I think with the knowledge that we now have, I feel like Diona should take that and share that information, because it's life-changing for a lot of families and a lot of parents. But she's too selfish. She would rather concentrate on her acting career and her comedy career because it's going so well. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll just give you a bit of knowledge every week. Another thing as well. See, when people say about breastfeeding, Oh, my milk didn't come through. My milk, no, I couldn't breastfeed. Sure, my milk didn't come through. That is completely impossible. Completely impossible. Like even the word my milk didn't come through. Like it's expected to make an appearance at a VIP concert or a nightclub. Yo, titty milk, come through. Come holla at your boy. Ha ha. Like everyone in VIPs holding their glass of complimentary prosecco with their Instagram open, just being all like, "Yo, where titty milk at? Where titty milk?" And then the next day, someone's just crying on their Instagram stories, mascara all down their face. Hey guys, what's up? I got some bad news last night at the club. Titty milk didn't come through, y'all. Fake asshole. But yeah, see anyone that says that my milk didn't come through, physically impossible. If that was the case, hundreds of thousands of babies around the world would be dying on the reg. It's impossible, right? The first thing, right? The first 3 days, there's a thing called colostrum, right? Colostrum or colostrum? I think it's called colostrum. Colostrum. Good thing to do as well is to spell it wrong and then, did you mean clostridium? Clostridium is a uninuclear isogamous. No, fucking did not mean that. Let's spell it a different way. Colostrum, is that it? Colostrum. Colostrum is the first form of milk produced by the mammary glands of mammals, including humans, right? So what is colostrum and its benefits? People are like, I tuned in here for a bit of banter and some jokes. This fucking guy's trying to teach us about newborn babies. Get a grip, son. A nutrient-rich fluid produced by female mammals immediately after giving birth is loaded with immune, growth, and tissue repair factors. So this is the best thing that your baby gets, right? And your milk actually takes about 3 or 4 days to actually start being produced by the breasts or the bops if you're studying ditties in university. And for some reason, a lot of people don't know this, but the first 2 to 3 days, like the baby's stomach at the very start is like a fucking teaspoon. So this colostrum that they get is just all this kind of like fatty liquid that is one of the best things that you can give to a newborn baby. So anyone who's sitting there going, my milk hasn't come through, this is just fucking titty glue, what's going on here, my bops are going to stick to my bra. That's not the case, right? That's not the case. You just have to keep going, right? You just have to keep going. And the amazing thing is too, I'm going to finish up now, right? Because I'm going to get locked up for talking so long about ditties. But for newborn babies and for breast milk and stuff, as far as I'm aware, right, formula powder has 40 nutrients in it for babies, and breast milk has over 200. And another thing as well is the baby's saliva around the nipple and the how would you say it, the titty area, the titty area, the part around the nipple and the titty area is lumpy, and that, as far as I'm aware, sends signals to the brain. And with the baby's saliva, if the baby has a cold, or if the baby is suffering from fatigue, or it's down because Liverpool has lost for some reason, which they very rarely do, I'll be honest with you. Basically what happens is if your newborn baby gets sick, all the kind of lumpy bits around the nips send messages to the brain or messages to the milk or whatever, and the milk changes and is sort of steered, like it takes different parts of things and steers like all this kind of like medicine-y kind of stuff through the breast milk to the baby. See as well, I swear this is the last one, right? Because it's becoming unhealthy now how much I'm talking about this. With babies, when you're breastfeeding a baby, you don't have to give it anything else, like anything else. See, in the height of the summer when it's roasting outside and you're like, I need to give her a glass of water, she's going to die. You don't have to. The milk eases off a bit and more water gets pushed through, so that your baby gets all the water that they need through the breast milk. And that's where we're going to leave that subject. That is where we're going to leave it. I said last week as well, I was talking about my phone, and what an absolute nightmare, right? What happened was I was texting last Sunday, put my phone in my pocket, lifted it out 20 minutes later, phone just wouldn't turn on. Sent it to get fixed. And basically what I was told was, your phone's completely bollocks, mate. Fucking bollocks. It's not working, it's bollocks. What'll I do? Can I be fixed? Get a new phone. Get a new phone. So that's it. So my phone's just sitting at home, just crying into a pillow. And I've lost everything. I've lost everything on my phone. All the photos that I didn't put up of my daughter when she was born on social media, only for social media. And I never post personal stuff, or hardly ever. And only those few photos are the photos that I have from when my daughter was first born. And do you know what I have as well? I say what I have. I had an audio file as well of her first little cry in the hospital. So when she was born, it was like a rah, rah, rah. She was trying to shout up the rah, rah. I was like, who do you want to join when you're older, Liverpool? Rah. Right? Mad. Very sectarian. But it's gone. It's lost. It's lost. Do you know what else is lost? I had Daki the Gaffer notes for future episodes. I had brand new characters written out, notes and jokes and stuff that I was going to include for new characters. I had new material. I had everything. I had loads of things on my phone. So lesson learned. If you learn one thing from this podcast, it's going to be a fucking roller coaster, right? He's going to talk about one thing and he's going to veer off in 400 directions. He's going to never make the point that he intended to make. He's going to forget words and Google shit and figure them out 20 minutes down the line. So probably avoid it in the future. But if you learn one thing from this, besides all the breast milk, besides all the shit like that, back up your phone. See if you have notes, see if you have photographs, see if you have video of your kids, see if you have videos of other people's kids. If you want to keep that, fucking save that shit. You need to save that. You need to save that. And that is Jerry Springer's final thought of the day. I bought a record player today. Felt like a fucking hipster. All the shops and stuff reopened today, which was class, all hospitality and stuff like that. And right before I went and bought a record player and some records, and I bought a record player from I was going to get it on Amazon, and they were like 60 or 70 quid, and I was like, do you know what, I'll check somewhere else just at the off chance, because for all I know I'm going to get it and be like, this is shite. I'm going to use the records as frisbees and I'm going to just sell it, the record player itself. So I thought I'll have a check somewhere else. Checked on Argos, there was one for 30 quid, a Bush one, I think, a Mac called Bush, and lovely, kind of comes in like a leather brown suitcase, and you just flip it up and you just play the records, and it's amazing. I'm going to go home after the office tonight, and myself and my wife are going to have a little glass of we're gonna have a little drink, and we're going to listen to the records that I bought. Bought the record player in Argos, bought a few records. I went around some charity shops today, full fucking hipster mode, right? Before I bought the records and the record player, went and had a wee sit down coffee. That's what I did. What did I have in Starbucks? An oat milk mocha with vegan cream. And then I went record shopping. Fucking fiddle the ends of my moustache and play with the braces to keep my trousers up, because I am a fucking hipster. I bought a record player and I had an oat milk mocha with vegan cream. What a root. That's who I am now. That's who I am. Unbelievable. In my mind, I'm going to go home tonight, and in my mind, I'm just like sipping a scotch while listening to jazz flute with my legs folded. Just, don't you stop. And I'm sitting there going, yeah. Just give me some jazz. Give me some jazz flute. Love it. That's the oboe. Denise. Do you know what instrument he's playing, Denise? Of course you don't, silly bitch. It's an oboe. And that's, in my mind, that's what I'm doing tonight when I get home. And in reality, cut to 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm just fucking half cut on my own, listening to Steps' greatest hits, trying to scratch through fucking H solo. Tragedy! Tragedy! Fucking break it and all. Unbelievable. Do you know what I did once? I used to have decks when I was 17 or 18. I used to be like a hip-hop DJ. I was going to tell you another story. I'll tell you the quick version of it, right? I was a hip-hop DJ for about 2 years. Fucking loved it, right? Did really well. Shite at mixing live, shite at fucking scratching, shite at all that. What I used to do was I used to have like an audio software program at home and I would just pre-mix all the stuff and then I would go and I'd be like fucking having the, what's it with the, I thought someone just came in. Having like the headphones up, just holding on to one headphone up to my shoulder. I mean, all like, yeah, fucking live mixing, loving it, live mix. What do you want, mate? Puff Daddy? Do you want Puff Daddy, mate? Coming up. Give it 20 minutes. No, fucking no request ever came on. It was just my pre-recorded mix the entire time. People were all, yeah, fuck, how does he do that? He's a wizard. And I'm like, mate, I did that over a 3-week period in my bedroom. That's what she said. Yeah, so I was a hip hop DJ when I was about 17 or 18. Lasted probably about 2 years, and I was asked to DJ for a guy's birthday party, and I was DJing away, right, playing my fucking pre-recorded mixes, and this girl brings a CD up, and she was all, "Will you play this for Daggy?" No, not Daggy. Daggy the Gaffer. Give me another name. Let's go with Samuel. "Will you play this for Samuel? It's his birthday today." And I'm all, "Yeah, just leave the CD there, and I'll fucking sanitize it before I put it in, you rat." And she came up 10 minutes later. "Will you play it for Samuel? Will you? It's his birthday. He fucking hates that song. Will you play it for him? It reminds him of our holidays last year. He got fucking syphilis." Don't even know if fellas can get syphilis. "He got syphilis. He got sunburn on his dick. Will you play it for him?" And I'm just like, it's his birthday. He's hired me to play his party. I'll tell you I'm going to play it, yeah, but I'll probably not because he hates it. Why would I do that and ruin his birthday? Do you know, you're only 19 once. And she came back over again. "Are you going to fucking play that CD? You going to play it? It's shite, like fucking Cha-Cha Slide or something. You going to play it?" Like, I'm playing Where Brooklyn At. "I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8 38s, 9 10 Mac 10, my shits never end." Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac, fucking, what do you call that, freestyle? Unbelievable. One of the best things I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sitting fucking pretending I'm pre-mixing that with Ludacris. "Stand up." And I'm all, "Where Brooklyn At? Stand up. Where Brooklyn? Stand up." Not even scratching, just shouting into the microphone. Then she comes up again. "Fucking play that CD, will you, for Samuel? He hates it. He hates that song. Fucking play it for him." And I'm like, I don't want to play it for him because it's his birthday and I'm going to ruin his night. And she goes, "Fucking play it or I'll stab you, you cunt." I was all, alright. So I pressed stop on my decks, put a fucking CD into some CD drive that I had, press play on this song, put it on repeat, just walked home. Just got a gravy chip, walked home. Fuck that. I was like, keep the decks, I don't give a shit. Fucking saying you're going to stab me because I won't play Cha-Cha Slide. Fucking Cha-Cha Slide into the back of your neck, you fucking... Yeah, so... What a good place! What a good place to leave it. I've got another new character that I've written for hopefully Friday's episode. So I'm gonna make my mission to get time over the next few days. I'll get back into the office and get a film for you and get it put out. And I really hope you like it. So far the characters are going down well. I'm surprising myself, and I'm surprised by your comments. I'm almost putting out videos every week now, and I'm like, at some stage now someone's just gonna go, "Well, the Dacky videos were good while they lasted, but that one was a pile of shit." So it's hard trying to come up with all these, what would you call them, like slogans and fucking sayings and stuff, because I know sayings are what sort of makes a thing catch on. And I remember just from Harry Enfield and from comedy in general, you know, you can think of 100 different catchphrases, you know, like knowing me, knowing you, Alan Partridge, garlic bread, Les Cadbury's finger is, um, Little Britain. You just everything good in comedy you associate with sayings. You know, Jim Royal, my ass, and I feel like with the decky kind of stuff, I'm sitting going, do I regurgitate the sayings that I have? Because at the minute I probably have 30 or 40 sayings that I've got into the 13 videos that I've made so far, and I don't know if I should regurgitate them, but I don't want people to think that I've run out of material, because I could come up with them forever. I have 1,000 names for dicks and fannies and tits and genitals and women and whatever, and because he's like sexist and misogynistic and filthy and he gets away with murder, it kind of leaves it completely open for me to just write any old shite, but like well thought out shite. I don't mean that as in what I think is shite or not funny, but I mean he can churn out just something that's filth or ridiculous, and the character gets away with it. So I have a few more. I've obviously lost a lot of stuff because of my laptop. Sorry, because of my phone that just turned off last week and just will not turn back on. Bit like your wife, mate. Judging by that fucking face, dirty bastard. But we'll see how we get on. Back your notes up, kids. I hope I've taught you a lot about breastfeeding this week. And fingers crossed, we'll all be back here next week for a brand new episode. You've been listening to the Comedy Cabin. You've been watching the Comedy Cabin. If you prefer to listen to podcasts instead of watch them, it's very simple. Just search Sean Hegarty Podcasts on your podcast app, or search my name. I'm sure it's the first thing that'll come up. And it's up to yourself. You can subscribe. You can dip in and out of whatever episodes you want. You can download past episodes, all free, all there for you to listen to for your entertainment. We're going to get this going. We're going to churn loads of these out. We're going to bring in guests in a few weeks once we get this off the ground. We're going to have a Patreon page where there's going to be special invites for people to come up into my office and watch live episodes. We'll tell a few jokes. People can ask questions. We'll have a laugh. And yeah, just keep being nice to people. Keep I was going to get into something there, but I might just save it for another episode or just never speak about it. But you know what? Things like this probably need to be spoken about, speaked about. I read an article about a month or two ago, and it fucking bugged me online. And I'll get into it in more depth in a future episode. But it was about how racist a country we still are, and it's judged on the amount of police complaints and racial incidents that have occurred and things like that. And I read it and I was fucking so ashamed of where I live. Not in my town, my area, but I just mean in this country or this part of the country or whatever you call it. And I think I was hoping we were past that. I was like, you know what? The people here are fucking, they're the salt of the earth. They're lovely. They're here provides some of the most amazing people on planet Earth. That's a fact. We have some of the best actors. We have some of the best sports people. We have some of the best comedians. But there's still something not right in society. And I don't know why the fuck people still think that they own an area or own land, or they're not willing to open their eyes and their brains and let different people and different sides and different cultures into their lives, because it's only a fucking good thing. But you know what? We'll talk about that in depth down the line. If you want to support this podcast, very easy. You can, and on Facebook, you can click underneath. It says like support this fucking gimp, and you can go on and you can support me by paying like £3 or £4 or £5 a month or whatever it is you want to set up yourself. You can go to ko-fi.com/hegpod, which is coffee.com/hegpod, and you can donate anything from £3, which pays for a new light, it pays for a new camera, it pays for a microphone, it pays for speakers, headphones, fucking mic stands, things that we can do to pay for PR to promote stuff, and yeah, just if you want to support me, that would be lovely. Coming out of a pandemic, it'd be really nice to start fucking getting proper back into this. And I know people's comments really make me motivated to produce more material, to produce more comedy content, to make people laugh more. And it's really given me a confidence boost just to read your lovely comments every single week on my videos. So I do appreciate them. I do try and read as many as possible. There are fucking tens, if not hundreds, of comments under most of my videos now, which is brilliant. I love reading them all. Love putting down the odd dickhead as well that comes on with not as funny as Decky's fourth video, the third line. Like, all right, mate. But it is what it is. Can't please everybody. May as well please yourself. Should have ended this 20 minutes ago. Fuck it. It's the Comedy Cabin. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. And we'll see you again next week for a brand new episode. Peace out, motherfuckers. But